Hello and welcome to Sonic Lore, where I retell the history of things in the Sonic series. In today's video, I'll be retelling the histories of three powerful beings in the Archie Sonic series. Those individuals are the Ancient Walkers, Mammoth Mogul, and Ixis Nagus. The history of these three individuals dates back long ago in an era before the Mobians or Overlanders. In the ancient past, the dominant species of Mobius was a race of dinosaur-like creatures called Mobosaurs. The Mobosaurs were the first sentient species on Mobius after all life on Earth was wiped out by an alien race called the Zorda. The Mobosaurs lived a simple life until one day the sky suddenly turned green. As the skies of Mobius rained down green emeralds that would later become known as the Chaos Emeralds, the weather became so chaotic that it wiped out almost all of the Mobosaurs. The only survivors of the cataclysmic event were three Mobosaurs. The surviving Mobosaurs took the Chaos Emeralds and learned as much as they could about their powers. After discovering the secrets of the Chaos Emeralds, the group gained godlike powers and knowledge. From then on, the three Mobosaurs swore to use their power to protect Mobius, and they became known as the Ancient Walkers. At some point in time, the group ascended into the Chaos Force and decided not to mess with mortal affairs unless the planet was in immense danger. Some time passed after the formation of the Ancient Walkers, and Mobius was now inhabited by the primitive Mobians and Overlanders. One fateful day, a Mobian named Mammoth Mogul stumbled upon a Chaos Emerald. When Mogul discovered the emerald, it shot out a flash of light and then mysteriously embedded itself within his chest. The Chaos Emerald granted Mogul limitless power, and with it, he ruled over the other Mobians. Mogul's reign was short-lived, as the Mobians that he had enslaved gained the strength to rebel against him and dethroned him. With his defeat, the Mobians banished Mogul to parts unknown. Mogul eventually discovered that the Chaos Emerald didn't just grant him power, but immortality as well. With this knowledge, Mogul decided to learn more about the power of the Emerald and was determined to rule over Mobius again. Centuries passed as Mogul learned the basics of his powers. He learned how to control the elements, and his immense power soon attracted people who wanted to learn from and serve Mogul. With his newfound followers, Mogul formed the Order of Ixis. Mogul and his followers planned on using their mastery of the elements to conquer the world. However, they were opposed by a group of scientific echidnas named the Albion Knights of Aurora. A war broke out between both factions for the fate of the planet. Mogul watched on as his forces battled the Albion Knights. He found the Knights' resistance to be futile and wondered if he could create a spell to bind their wills to his own. As he was musing at the idea, Ixis Vale, one of his four elites, came to him with some news. She told Mogul that the Knights were conducting experiments against nature in an attempt to defeat the Order. Mogul wasn't surprised by the news and simply stated that the Knights would never win if they kept playing fair. Eventually, the Knights of Aurora gained the upper hand in the war and triumphed over Mogul and his followers. Almost all of Mogul's followers had been slain, and Mogul hid himself until he was ready to retry his plans for world domination. The only surviving members of the Order of Ixis were Agunis, Nasuga, and Suguna. Agunis was a master of earth magic, Nasuga was a master of air magic, and Suguna was a master of water magic. The three wizards tried to use their power to peer into Mobius's past and see what caused the planet's previous destruction. They planned on harnessing the destructive power for themselves, but their search was in vain. Agunis was frustrated at their failure to discover the secret of the past, and Suguna was equally as disappointed. Nasuga reassured Agunis and Suguna that there was another way for the group to obtain power. He stated that he had increased his mystical powers as well as his proficiency of their elements as well. Agunis and Suguna were outraged at Nagus's claim, but he reminded the two that the group had shared the secrets of their respective elements with each other. He then pointed out that the group had only one other element to master, fire. But in order to master fire, they needed to venture to the sun to learn its secret. To get to the sun, the group first had to traverse the land with Agunis' earth magic. They then would have to swim through the sea with Suguna's water magic. And then finally, they would soar through the skies with Nagusa's air magic until they finally reached the sun. With their plan now set, the group set forth to obtain the power of fire. However, all three wizards planned to betray one another. As soon as the group started racing across the land, Agunis revealed that he had kept a portion of his earth magic to himself and used it to dive into the sea first. Saguna was briefly shocked at Agunis' betrayal and used his secret portion of his water magic to beat the other two to the skies. With the group's betrayal of each other now in the open, Nagusa used his portion of air magic to fly ahead of his former comrades. However, Aguna was able to grab onto Nagusa's ankle, and Saguna grabbed onto Agunis. The three wizards fought as they dove into the sun until their bodies merged into one and their combined form fell back down to Mobius. The next day, as King Frederick was having breakfast with his wife and his son Maximilian, the door suddenly flew open and the combined form of the three wizards introduced himself as Ixis Nagus. Nagus swore loyalty to Frederick, but was secretly biding his time to one day overthrow the Acorns and take over the kingdom. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this, then please sub, like, comment, and well, I hope you stick with me for more. Thank you.